Welcome to Undercover Truths, where facts come first. Hit subscribe and stay informed.
A father confessed. 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, once described as fragile but full of life, is gone, and now we know how. According to investigators, Jake Haro admitted to killing his own son, a child who could not walk, could not crawl, could not speak for himself. He told authorities he placed Emmanuel's body in a trash can. A confession that stops you cold, a detail you wish you could unhear. But how does a story like this even begin? How do we go from a mother claiming a kidnapping in a parking lot to both parents facing murder charges and now a father admitting to throwing away his own child? For days, the search was frantic. Streets were canvassed, dumpsters combed through, remote roads scoured under the blazing California sun. Strangers offered tips, neighbors held vigils, people prayed Emmanuel would be found alive. Yet behind those desperate efforts, evidence was mounting, evidence that pointed back to the very people who were supposed to protect him. Investigators uncovered inconsistencies almost immediately. Rebecca Haro said Emmanuel was taken while she shopped at Big Five Sporting Goods in Yucaipa, but surveillance video showed no sign of a kidnapping, no panicked mother searching for her child in the parking lot, no fleeing suspect. Detectives noticed how quickly both parents stopped cooperating, how their stories changed, how timelines didn't match phone records. The search areas shifted from public spaces to private ones. Their home in Cabazon, the roads leading out of Moreno Valley, and ultimately, trash disposal sites. Pause for a moment and think about what that means. They weren't just searching for a missing baby. They were searching for a body. If you're hearing this and it shakes you, if you believe stories like Emmanuel's must be exposed, subscribe now. Staying informed is how we make sure children aren't forgotten. Jake Haro's confession came after hours of questioning, after the evidence closed in. Prosecutors say this was no accident, no momentary lapse in judgment. Emmanuel was born with a medical condition that required constant care. He depended on feeding support, regular checkups, and medication. Authorities alleged those basic needs were ignored. And now, according to Jake himself, the baby was killed and discarded. This isn't just about one violent act. It's about every moment before it, every time a warning was missed, every time someone stayed silent. Doctors had raised concerns about Emmanuel's care. Social workers documented missed appointments. Family members worried but didn't press hard enough. Systems designed to protect children never stepped in with enough force.
A baby that small, that vulnerable, doesn't just disappear. Someone always knows, someone always sees. How many more children like Emmanuel are slipping through the cracks right now? Subscribe to follow this investigation, because the next life saved might depend on what we uncover here. The Riverside County District Attorney's Office charged both Jake and Rebecca Haro with murder and making a false police report. Their bail was set at $1 million each. In court, prosecutors detailed how the alleged kidnapping was staged, how Rebecca reported a crime that never happened, and how evidence pointed back to their own home from the very beginning. The timeline is chilling. August 14th, Rebecca claims Emmanuel was kidnapped in Yucaipa. August 15th, detectives find no supporting evidence. August 16th, neighbors report odd behavior and unaccounted hours. August 17th, searches shift toward trash collection routes. By the end of the week, both parents are under arrest. And now, weeks later, the father admits the unthinkable. Think about the silence of that home in the hours after Emmanuel died. No sirens, no urgent rush to save him. Just the quiet cover-up of a crime. That silence speaks louder than any scream. If hearing this makes you feel the weight of responsibility, if you believe exposing these failures matters, hit subscribe. Don't wait for another child to vanish before you care. The truth now moves into the courtroom. Prosecutors will argue that Emmanuel's death was intentional. Defense attorneys will attempt to explain, to humanize, to shift blame. But no argument can change the fact that a 7-month-old boy, fully dependent on his parents for love and life, is gone. Look closer, and the story isn't just about one family. It's about how communities react or don't react to warning signs. Why did no one intervene when Emmanuel's care was clearly slipping? Why weren't child protection services more aggressive? Why wasn't more done when the lies began to unravel? When a baby's life hangs in the balance, is it enough to hope someone else will step in? Or do we all bear some share of the responsibility when these tragedies happen right in front of us? Stay with this channel. Subscribe now, not for numbers, but to stay informed, to make sure that when the next warning sign flashes, someone, somewhere will act, because no child should ever leave this world unseen, unheard, and unprotected. As investigators trace Emmanuel's last moments, every detail feels heavier. A missed feeding, a delayed doctor's visit, a parent's rage, a cover story rehearsed in the parking lot of a store. These are the pieces that prosecutors are assembling into a case for murder. This isn't sensationalism. This is real. A child has died, a confession has been made, and now justice must be pursued, not just in the courtroom, but in how we change the way society responds to children in danger. Imagine if someone had spoken up louder earlier. Imagine if every warning was taken seriously. Emmanuel could be alive today. That reality should haunt everyone listening. If it does, if you feel it, subscribe. Help ensure Emmanuel's story doesn't fade into another headline forgotten by next week. As this trial unfolds, evidence will show not only what happened inside the Haro home, but why no one stopped it. Investigators are still piecing together Emmanuel's exact cause of death. They are combing trash collection sites, searching for physical evidence, trying to recover his remains so he can finally be laid to rest with dignity. The fight for justice is far from over, but the admission from Jake Haro changes everything. It's no longer a mystery. It's a reckoning. So remember his name, remember his face. Emmanuel Haro, 7 months old, helpless, gone because the people who should have loved him most chose silence and lies instead. Stay with this story. Subscribe now, not for numbers, but to stay informed, to make sure that when the next warning sign flashes, someone, somewhere will act. Because no child should ever leave this world unseen, unheard, and unprotected.